Welcome to 13-10 Explained, hopefully in less than 5 minutes. Let's take a look at this real quickly. You can see that there's a journal entry worksheet down here. It's asking you to do 5 tabs. And the first tab is asking us to record the payroll entries, which we know is the salary expense. The second one is asking us for the employer's taxes, which is the payroll tax expenses. And then it's asking us to do 3 things more. Pay the federal unemployment tax, which is done separate from the other 3 federal taxes we'll be paying. And then pay the state unemployment tax. Just follow the directions on that. And then pay the FICA and the federal income tax, of which get paid on the same coupon. So I'm not going to go through every little thing on this question because it's more of a, I would say it's more of a hunt and find kind of deal here. But I do want to point out something. Number one, if you are paying a your federal taxes, what federal taxes do we have to speak of? Well, we have the federal income tax, right? We have a Social Security tax, we have a Medicare tax, and we have the FUTA tax, the federal unemployment tax. These are federal, okay? All these are federal. They go into the U.S. Treasury. But they're paid separately, if you will. The FUTA is paid by itself. And FUTA uses the same coupon as these 3 taxes. So you're going to take the balance that's in the federal income tax. You're going to take the balance that's in the Social Security tax. You're going to take the balance that's in the Medicare tax. You're going to add all them up. And then you're going to plug that dollar amount right in here. So considering the fact that there may be a previous balance in the general ledger, you need to be posting in order, correct? So coupon for doing the federal income tax and the FICA taxes, which that's what these are, the coupon that you're going to use is the 8109B, okay? And then you're going to be using, you're going to check off up here, the 941. Now, it's probably going to be in black pencil if you're doing it for real. But in any case, the 941. And then you're going to include the total dollar amount over here. Now, I'm going to give you the dollar amount so you can kind of figure out what's going on here, right? So if you have a wrong number, you'll know right away. So they paid $2,581.14. $2,581.14. The employer identification number, I believe in the actual problem itself, it gives that number to you. This is the EIN number, right? Remember that? The EIN, it's a Social Security number or a tax number for a separate entity when someone's not a sole proprietor. And then it's also going to ask you, so 941 is for the FICA and the Fed. And now the period that you're paying it for, there's 4 quarters in a year, you pay your taxes quarterly. In this case, it's going to tell you that it's the 4th quarter that you're using. And it may ask you to put in here, actually what it does ask you to do, I think in the question, it asks you to type in these. It gives you numbers like number 1 is what, number 2 is what, number 3 is what, number 4 is what. I'm explaining it, but this is not how you're going to see it. Now, the next tax that gets paid separate from the federal income tax, Social Security tax, and Medicare tax is the FUTA, federal unemployment tax. That's separate. You utilize the same coupon, 8109, and you use the 940 form. And someone, for the life of me, can tell me where the 940 got to. I'm going to say that's it right there. 940. And what is the quarter that we're speaking of? I don't know. Maybe, I'm going to just say 4th quarter. It may or may not be. It's up to you to figure that out. But the dollar amount, in case you're looking for it, and this is going to be the balance that's in where? That's in the general ledger. So there may be additional previous balance to what before all these transactions happened, and that's the amount that you need to pay. You're going to be paying the balance of it, and you're going to come up with a number that's $564.46. If you don't come up with that number, then you've done something wrong, son. So, again, federal income tax gets paid in two different areas using the same coupon and using this is where it identifies what tax you're paying. When you turn this coupon into the bank, the 941, they know it's the FICA and the Fed income. If you checked off the 940, they know it's going to be just the FUTA tax that you're paying. Now, to make matters worse, I'm not going to try and tell you how to write a check. If you don't know how to write a check by now, and it's late May almost, or late April, then we're in some serious trouble. So what I've done is, and you can hold this screen and write it down, or however it works for you. I've taken all the transactions, and I've put them in a graphical form. I've analyzed them using a T account. So transactions, as you can see, are numbered, and the previous balances are already listed. So you'll know why, because for instance, we recorded a transaction number 2, the FUTA went up by $100.35, but when we went to go pay it, it was $564.46. That was the balance. And you're going to see that in a couple different places. Like if you have to figure out what the balance is in your general ledger, and I believe it actually calculates it for you, compare your balances at the end with the numbers that I have right here, and then you should be golden. I'm not going to do this addition for you, so take that and subtract out. You know how to get the balances of each one of these accounts. The checks are pretty straightforward. As always, do the check stub first. Make sure you have a new balance, and then fill the rest of the check out methodically, one end to the other. And if that's the case, 7 minutes and 30 seconds wraps up chapter 13. So this is 1310 coming to an end. Again, 7 minutes and 39 seconds, and I owe you roughly 3 minutes the next time I see you. Take care, guys.